Hey there, this is BugPowderDust and thank you for joining me once again for episode 9 of my occasional series Distinctly Average. And this is the rather cool garage, which is for the Wargaming anniversary, as we can see. So we've got a little bit of a special garage. I actually quite like this is pretty cool. Anyway, so today's video is about the Löwe, and I've got two games to show you today. One is a Mastery badge that I earned in it in a Tier 8 game, and the other one is a Tier 9 game, which I thought was worth showing for those of you who think that the Löwe is actually just a load of rubbish. It's buttery paper tank and can't actually bounce anything. Well, actually, hopefully the video will prove you wrong. The Löwe has had a bit of a checkered history. These days it's a lot more acceptable to drive a Löwe than it used to be, because the Löwe is one of the oldest premium tanks in World of Tanks. Wargaming brought it out a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago even, and I was one of the first to buy them, or certainly one of the early ones anyway, and you can see that I've actually got a lot of games in the Löwe because it was the tank that I played the most when I was learning how to play the game, and that kind of reflects in my kind of victory stats in it really. 49% compared to the rest of my tanks. You can see clearly the Löwe was the tank I had when I was learning in. So I was one of the people who contributed probably to the Löwe's reputation of being a bit of a noob tank, and people didn't play it properly. I'm sure I didn't play it properly either. You know, I was exposing this rather massive shoot me sign that is here, the lower front plate, and this flat plate here, which is, to be honest, it's armoured, 120 armour, but your shots will go through it all day long, from probably tier 6 tanks as well. So the Löwe is a quite hard tank to get right, but if you can hide this lower front plate, this superstructure here, and also the turret, as you can see, is super bouncy, massive gun mantlet. You're not shooting through the gun mantlet on this easily. This tank becomes a force to be reckoned with, and we will see that in the second game that I'm going to show you. Also, the gun, really nice, really nice. Let's compare that to the Tiger 2 gun, which is kind of similar. Let's where are we? Tiger 2, and let's this the 105 on the Tiger 2. Similar, but it's got a slightly faster rate of fire. But the Löwe gun has more pen, same damage, sorry. Better accuracy, slightly longer aim time. So you gain, but you also lose. I'd much rather have more pen and wait a little bit longer for my aiming, but with a more accurate gun. More accurate, more penetration? Yes please, every day of the week. It doesn't have any real disadvantages there, but it is slow. It's slow. 90 tons, good for ramming stuff, but yeah, you will end up, you can't really brawl in this very easily, or if you do, you've got to kind of pick your opponents. You will end up sniping a lot, but you've got a fantastic gun for it. Just ignore the whiners who call you a camper and a noob, because frankly, if you're dishing out the damage is damage at the end of the day. Okay, well that's it really for the introduction. I'm going to move on now to the games. The first one is a Mastery badge that I got in this game on a rather exciting game that went my way, and the second one is a Tier 9 game on Erlenberg, I think it is. So let's get into the games. Okay, so here we go on the first match, and we are on Highway. The teams are kind of evenly balanced, certainly in terms of player skill. I tend to use as a rule of thumb players over and under 1,000 W and 8, so you can see we've got 2, 4, 5, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players over 1,000 W and 8. The spread of tanks, they've got more heavies than we have, we've got a few more mediums. But the spread is, yes, it's not bad. It's tend to, on this map, I think more heavy tanks in town probably helps. There's no artillery, so heavy tanks out in the open going north shouldn't be that much of a big deal. So we appear to have another Löwe on the team, which is great, and we'll hopefully get a chance to see the Löwes in action here. So most of the tanks, the heavy tanks anyway, are going to town, which is great. We're getting a little push from the M6 here, but yeah, this is such a good looking tank. I really do like the looks of this tank, and yeah, this turret, if it's hull down, is very hard to get through. You'd have to shoot the Commander Cupola, which is really not that very exposed. It's one of the smaller ones. So I'm going up the hill, turning my turret off to the left hand side in case any shots come that way. It's highly unlikely, but it's a good practice to get into. So always turn your turret towards where the enemy is going to be, especially if your turret is extremely bouncy. So going over to this side of the map, this is always a good place for a heavy tank. It puts lots of buildings and cover between you and your enemy, gives you a chance to reload. So if you have a long reload, it's actually really useful to be able to control the engagement. So you fire, you pull back, then you wait till you're ready to fire again, and then you push out. Especially if you've got good strong armor as well, so you can side scrape. So the sort of thing that a mouse or an E100 would be perfect for. Control the engagement, long reload. There's loads of other tanks here as well, unfortunately. It's going to get in the way slightly, but there's an ARL. I'll take a shot at him. Don't want to expose myself too much to the KV-4 just yet, because I can't angle my armour effectively, because there's so many tanks here. I would just normally side scrape in this situation. So I decided not to put down the ARL, but go for the IS-2. It's more of a, it's a higher tier. My damage potential of 300 will be wasted on the ARL, and I know that my other tier 6 colleagues here could deal with the ARL anyway, which they do. So I made the right call. I snapped my shot at the KV-4, it tracks him, not what I wanted, so I want to go for a weak spot, but I missed his return shot, so that's good. Get a reload, go for his weak spot, that flat panel just between the turret and the sloped upper hull. So he's pulling back, I just want to try and keep an eye on him. So I decide to push across. I'm not doing a great deal here, and unfortunately I'm still spotted. Tiger 2 puts in a shot really quickly. Could have done without that. So I decide, right, I'm actually going to side scrape here, which is absolutely perfect for me, and take pot shots at these guys up the railway line here. They've got almost all of their heavies in town, so I'm going to have to make a real difference here. So the Tiger 2, he bounces off my side armour, as does the Tiger 1. So 2 bounces there. You can see how effective side scraping is in this vehicle. Wait for the reload. 3601 bounces off me, and I'm reloaded. Boom. Hit 361 are good. Then I notice, and this is why I should always have good situational awareness. KV-4 is pushing in. I need to get around this corner quickly, and I don't go to sniper mode for this, and I suffer because I must have put the shot into the SU-100. So that's my bad. That shot should have gone in. However, I'll make this one count instead. A nice hit. So the KV-4 is still 2 shots for me to kill. So I just wait to get my reload. KV-4 tracks me and decides that he's going to get out of there while I'm still tracked. So I think, okay, I'm going to chase him, momentarily forgetting about the IS-2 on the corner. So I pull back in the nick of time and bounce his return shot. Now at this point I see that behind me we've got big problems. We've got the M6 and we've got the Löwe. The M6 is, well, it's a tier 6 tank. There's only so much it can do in a tier 8 game. The Löwe is on low health. So I remind the KV-4, he seems to have completely forgotten that I was there, or he just doesn't care. Either way, it's not smart play from him. So, again, I'm angling, and he bounces off me. The M6 tracks him, he turns his attention back to the M6, so I need to finish this guy fast. Let me just pause the game here for a second. You'll see here that I am really quite worried about the IS-2, which was over here. I didn't finish him, and I'm feeling really twitchy. If he pushes up now and engages me from the back, I've got big problems. So I need to finish this KV-4 quickly, and probably that Tiger 2 as well. So we finished the KV-4. Sorry about the frame rate drop there. Tiger 2 I thought was behind that wreck, but he's actually on the other side, so that M6 is in real trouble. However, I'll see if I can get any shots at these guys. I can't. Tiger 1 maybe through that gap. So the Löwe now gets finished, so I'm pretty much on my own after the Tiger 2 finishes the M6. Boom. Put a nice little shot into the Tiger 2 showing the accuracy of the gun. He's tracked, and I want to try and get up another shot on him just to finish him. I can damage him through his axle here. So aim, and and he repairs just as I reload and fire. Again, I'm really hoping the IS-2 doesn't put in a show behind me. He doesn't, but I'm really kind of feeling the pressure. So I go back for a sneaky look, trying to use the armour just to kind of, sorry, not there, the wreck there, just to shield me from any fire. But the IS-2's not there, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I do stand a chance here. I've done 2,000, almost 2,800 damage at this point, so I'm feeling quite happy with my performance here, but the game could still go either way. So I'm thinking, okay, well, only the Tiger 2 is a real concern to me here, and maybe the Tiger to a lesser degree. So let's push forward and see if I can spot where these guys are, because I need to do something quickly here. Again, the Tiger 2 wasn't pointing his turret my way, so that gave me the chance I needed to put him down. He only had 60 health. Now on the minimap I see that the Tiger 1 and the IS-2 have pushed north to try and defend their cap, meaning that all I have in front of me are 2 tier 6 heavy tanks. Not really that much of a threat. In fact, one, because you now see the VK36 is now pushing towards our base. I don't know what he was thinking, but just a KV2 on its own is not going to cause me problems. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to push forwards to see if I can put my very accurate long-range gun to use here and snipe the 3.6. So as I push round here, you'll see that he actually gets put down. More buildings in the way. Come on, push through. See if I can get a long-range shot. But he gets taken out. Okay, fine. So let's see where this KV2 is. Now this is coming up now is a reason why you should always be aware of your minimap and what's around you. Not quite yet though. Tiger 1. Tiger 1 pulls up short and my shot goes in front of him. He stopped when I didn't think he would. So let's wait out the reload, and I put the finishing shot into him, only doing 190 damage rather than the full damage that I could have done. So behind me now the KV2's appeared, and I spot him straight away because I'm paying attention to the minimap. And I'm thinking, okay, well he's probably got a derp gun. Then I realise he's only got a stock turret, and he hasn't got the derp gun. So really, his gun is not going to penetrate me. He's got nothing to worry about. So I'm just going to hunt this guy down and finish him. I don't need him behind me as I push north. Fairly straightforward. Okay, so I now need to push north and help out because the game isn't over yet. I don't know how much health the Tiger 2 has. The T-28 prototype is a fairly slow target, and if he has to cross over to the base to take up the slack if the Tiger 2 dies, he can get picked off by their T-28 proto and potentially the IS-2. So I need to push north. So I've cut some of the footage here just to speed things up a little bit. So as I push north, the IS-2 pops up on my radar, but he's not hanging about, so I don't get a side shot into him. I am spotted, so he knows I'm here now, and he backs up in order to engage me. He snaps his shot, I bounce off his turret. But I'm realising that I'm exposing my lower front plate far too much, so I'm going to try and move and use the terrain here in order to help me out here. And again, I don't have much of a shot, and the shot goes way low, fortunately. So again, his shot bounces off my turret. He sees what I'm doing. I mean, this is a smart player. His WN8 indicates that he's only got 823, but I think he's a smarter player than that. He's not giving me much to shoot at. So as I push over, I'm realising that, you know what, I'm still showing too much of my front plate here, so I'm going to try and close that down slightly. Expecting the T-28 to appear, and he gets a good shot now. We will shortly. He sees me that I fired, he aims, and he puts a shot into my lower front plate. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid. However, I've got the health pool to soak it up. In fact, I could just rush him now. If that T-28 Proto hadn't been there, I would have just pushed over and put him down. Because he's a one-shot, I'm not. However, I don't know what the T-28 Prototype's doing, and frankly, if you look to my left, you'll see we have the rest of my team coming up. So all I need to do is just keep him busy. There's no point in me exposing myself and getting the kill here. I'd like to share the love and let the rest of my team distract him. So he sees them coming, they put in a shot, I now push over. Gun depression, and pop. And the T-28 Prototype gets blown up in the distance. Okay, here we have the post-game stats. As you can see, it's a mastery badge. Now I did 3,000+ damage. Just skipped that very quickly. So I did 3,600 damage, and I blocked 2,230. So that's really pleasing when you manage to block armor, block shots coming in by your armor in the Löwe, because it means that you've hidden your lower plate properly. So that was pretty sweet. I did get a little bit lucky in the game. Most of the heavy tanks in town left me alone, and that could have gone a lot more worse for me. 80,500 premium silver after everything's been taken off. Didn't fire any premium ammo because really, generally, you don't need to. And it was a ×5 event, so almost 10,000 XP, which is really, really welcome. Got lots of badges here. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all. You've seen all of these. But I got a steel wall, which is always very nice, and also high caliber. So there we see that the Löwe can be quite a beast when it wants to be. In Tier 8 games, if you play it right, the Löwe's absolutely fantastic. So some good play from some of the other guys, the Löwe, who also came to town with me acquitted himself very well. Unfortunately, he was just kind of picked on by lots and lots of tanks in town rather than me. It could easily have been the other way around. So shout out to Kill Slim, he did very well there. Here we are then, we are on Erlenberg, one of the oldest maps in the game, but has changed a couple of times, and the teams are fairly evenly split in terms of W and 8 skill levels. But unfortunately, what's happened on the other team is they've actually got a tier 6 tank destroyer, the Jagdpanzer 4, who is in a platoon with 2 tier 7 tanks who are legitimately in the game. I didn't actually notice that when I was playing until the Jagdpanzer appeared in front of me. Then I was thinking, well, he shouldn't really see it in this game. So he's going to struggle a little bit, but there we go. So I'm thinking, well, okay, this is quite a good map for sniping. I need to keep my distance. I'm going to get mashed up quite hard by the tier 9s and also some of the tier 8s if I don't watch myself. So going this way, it gives you a nice way to get to the west part of the map and then move up towards the castle without being spotted and ruined by some cunning light tank drivers who might get some spots off. So turn the tank, and you can see that the Löwe is quite slow. So let me speed this up a little bit. I'm going to go to 2 times as I make my way, keeping hull down. So the AMX 50-100 is up to the spot where enemy tanks could be, and he would probably spot them before they do any damage to me. So I'm just going to push up now. And there we go. So I'm into the safety of the castle. I see some action now. We've got the T-32 and the T-25-2. WZ is pushing right up without any support, so a good move. It's quite brave, I think. I don't know much about the WZ-111. I'm assuming because it's got probably Russian heritage, being a Chinese tank, it's got a inaccurate but high damage gun. So he needs to get up close, because he's not going to be sniping with it, unlike my gun, which is very accurate but not so much alpha. So I'm going to push up to help him. I'm playing out of position. I should be sort of sitting back and sniping, but he needs support. The AMX 50-100 doesn't have the armour. He can't really do the sort of brawling that this sort of game requires. So I'm going to push up and help the WZ-111, even though firstly I'm a tier 8 in a tier 9 game, and also my tank isn't built for it necessarily. But I'm going to try and make it work, because I can probably put my good turret armour to good use. So let's see what I can do. We have support from the tank destroyer, the Rheinmetall-Borzig at the back, and a couple of lights who don't seem to be scouting. They seem to be sitting back there, not doing a great deal. So T-32, played by somebody who knows what they're doing. I take a shot at his commander cupola, but it doesn't go in. It's really hard because I'm below him. Therefore it's going to be really, really hard for me to put a shot through his commander hatch there. AMX M4 is in a really good position there on the left. He is splitting our attention between our targets in the front and also himself, and he's making himself a massive pain in the neck. So throughout all of this engagement he's kind of down there, and we can't really ignore him because he's got more than enough penetration to punch a hole in me, and most probably the WZ as well. But I'm not familiar with the Chinese heavies, so I honestly don't know about his side armour. So one of the advantages of XVM is that you can tell the skill of the person you're fighting. So in this instance I can see the T-32, he's got a WN8, a decent WN8 rating. He's blue, or light blue there. And I can see that from the little square on his next to his vehicle health points, in case you're wondering what that was. So we seem to have the upper hand here. It's kind of 6-4, and again that shot manages to go in, so I was actually quite happy about that. And he bounces his return shot, so we can see that. Oh yeah, and then I get I take my eye off the ball there, and the AMX M4 gets in a good shot on me. So if you look at the front of my tank, it's getting a bit dingy. In fact, is there any dings that you can see? No, not yet. Okay. Oh, there's a little ding there on the side of the turret that you can see there. Anyway, so our T-59 goes barrelling in and takes down the AMX M4. Unfortunately, our WZ111 dies, but I'm going to push around now because they are now under pressure. They've seen the 59 and the AMX, and they realise that they have to push back, fall back even. Meanwhile, the game is unfolding around us. The east side of the map doesn't look great. They've got an M103 and a couple of tanks there on the right hand side. A couple of tank destroyers, I think. Fortunately, there's no arty in this game. I think arty in this game would have ruined a good fight. Certainly, I would now be the focus of arty's attention because I'm big and slow. The AMX-50 is moving around constantly, as is the 59. So I would have been the focus of arty's attention. I don't know where that shot went, but certainly didn't go where I wanted it to. So I missed a nice shot on the E75. So now he's focusing on me. And that was a rubbish shot from me, but I bounced his return fire, more importantly. So E75, where did that shot go? I've no idea. It's not showing. As I push around here, I'm thinking, there's a Rheinmetall Bortzig down there in B5. And there he is, but he bounces. And my snapshot doesn't go anywhere near him by the looks of it. Which is a shame, because that would have been a tasty bit of damage to get. But anyway, so that's bouncing another shot. Where did that go? Can we see? I think just the top of my gun mantle there. So I don't want to push around any further than here because I really don't want to get picked off by that Rheinmetall. Now I don't know what gun he's got, but 500 or 800 damage, I still don't want to take it. Type 59's working the ridge there really, really nicely. I'm thinking maybe I can get a shot on the E75 from here without exposing myself to the Rheinmetall. And again, I'm having to shoot at cupolas, and even though it was accurate, it didn't go in. It's a shame. This Rheinmetall hasn't seen the other Rheinmetall at the bottom. A nice side shot on E75, that's precisely what I needed, and bounced his return shot, which came off my turret again. Let's try and put the E75 down. I've got nothing to fire at really here. He wasn't giving me anything. Couldn't see his lower plate, and he was angled very well. So I'm in a situation here where I'm not done huge amounts of damage, but I notice there's an M103 behind us now. I don't think anyone else has noticed him, so I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got to go back and take this guy on. But the terrain's in my favour. I can hold down my tank fairly easily from here. And that's got to work in my advantage against a fearsome tank. The M103 is not to be taken lightly. So I don't want to take a blind shot. I need to spot this guy. Maybe the 1390 can do that for me. He's there in the background. Maybe he can spot him. Or distract him, even better. Then I can take the shot. Meanwhile, a wild T32 appears and I turn my turret just in time to bounce his shot. So let's have a quick pop at the 103, who perfectly turns his turret in time. So good job, the 1390 player there, who takes a hit from the T32 now. Now the T32 is a one hit from me, so I can easily put this guy down. And this just shows you the advantage of having light tanks who, they don't have big guns, but they can be a real distraction, and they can just be that pain in the backside that the heavier tanks don't need, especially if you've got another friendly, i.e. me, here to take advantage of that distraction. So we're left with the situation here, it's me and the light tank versus 4 vehicles, and I'm not feeling too hopeful. Again, I'm firing. So frustrating for me. The C75 just refuses to die. So 1390 goes barrelling in, very brave, and puts down the E75, which he knew he could do. And I'm trying to cover him, but I don't fire here because I didn't want to hit him, and that unfortunately cost him his life. He was shot by the Rheinmetall. I would have killed the SU. Now let's just pause it there. I think that was a big mistake for me. I should have just fired blind, but I was getting caught up on... I thought that this gun was going to get in my way, that you can see here. So I didn't take the shot. I should have maybe shot blind. But I didn't. And that is going to cost me the game. I'm not giving away the ending too much. Now, I loaded some gold just then in order to try and shoot the top of the E75. So I've got some gold loaded. But it's very rare that I actually use gold in the Löwe. But we're getting to the end of the game now where I have to win. So the FCM quite nicely says in chat, useless player. Yeah. Keep an eye on the FCM, and we'll see where he did at the end of the game, or what he did. So I'm facing 3 quite meaty tank destroyers. Now 2 of them are one-shot, and I don't know what the T-28 Proto is about. So I kind of push forward, see if I can get some spots off. And I keep gold loaded. I don't need gold for the Rheinmetall, but I don't want to miss any shots because every shot counts. And again I get a bounce from the T-28, and the Rheinmetall hits me but doesn't get exposed. But I know approximately where he is. Now the SU-122, you may have noticed there, has gone round to my side. And he's trying to flank me. I think he's trying to flank me. So I'm thinking, okay, well I'm not having that. The T-28 is probably quite slow. The Rheinmetall is the problem for me if I go back this way. So I'm just kind of fingers crossed that now I'm unspotted, I don't get spotted, and they don't know that I've moved back. So let me just speed the game up slightly here. So I push on back, hoping to spot the SU-122. We've got about 4 minutes left on the clock, and I don't want to throw the game for the team, but I know that I don't have the speed or the stealth to go hunting for these guys. So the T-28 appears behind me. Now you'll see then that I had gold loaded, and that made all the difference. That shot may have bounced if I had normal armour, but I made sure that it didn't. So the SU-122 sees me and decides that, you know what, I'm not going to stick around here, and off he goes. Fair play, I can't blame him, I would have done the same. But I need to get out of dodge. So I kind of turn around thinking, well, he may just go round to the back. I'm not going to go around that corner, because the Rheinmetall, I'm sure, is somewhere there. He's lining up a shot. I can feel it in the back of the hairs on the back of my neck. So I decide, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait and see, do a little bit of spotting, be hull down. Okay, nothing's coming. Now if I'm the SU-122, what I would probably do is go around to this side. And that's what I thought he would do. You can see me looking round to that side to see if he's coming around that way. Turn my turret just in case. Doesn't seem to be there. So I'm thinking, okay, I know that the land behind me is perfect for me to go hull down. There's no arty, so I can be hull down, but more importantly I can also cover our base as well. So if anybody starts to cap, I can probably spot them and get a shot off, because the view range in the Löwe is pretty good. Pretty good for a heavy tank. So I'm backing up. Now they can come from one of 3 places. Left hand side, which is now covered by the rock, the castle entrance, or to the right of the castle. I say it's a castle, it's not really a castle, but you know what I mean. So I kind of wait here. I'm hull down, I can cover all 3 avenues. If the base starts to get capped, I can push down there and I can spot fairly quickly. But they're running out of time. So we're down to just under a minute, and I really don't know what to do here. There's nothing really much else I can do. Maybe a much better player than me would have come up with some cunning plan, but I'm slow and I'm very visible, and I'm against 2 tank destroyers. If it was 1 tank destroyer I probably would have gone hunting, but 2 of them? Nah. So I'm thinking, well, really it's down to them to push. Oh, here's the SU. Bang. That felt really good. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the Rheinmetall's coming at the same time, but we're so short on time now, it probably isn't going to happen. So there we go. It's going to be a draw, and I was kind of happy with that result. It was probably the best I could have hoped for under the circumstances. So here are the post-game stats. As you see, unfortunately, it was a draw. But I thought I did okay. And look, I didn't do tons of damage. I mean, if you look at damage 2,300, which is okay, but damage blocked by armor 2,490, which is pretty sweet. I mean, I bounced some quite important shots there, so I was really happy with this. And really, let's have a look at the team score. Somehow I came top. I don't really understand how. Damage-wise, I think I did the second most, but in terms of XP, I did come top, which kind of surprised me. But really, what I wanted to do was just demonstrate that the Löwe, contrary to popular belief, if you can keep that lower hull hidden, is really bouncy, and you could have a lot of fun in it if you like kind of heavy tanks which hit hard, and this does hit hard. It's got a decent reload speed, it's very accurate, and the gun is a thing of beauty. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.